The Paul Leslie Hour, helping people tell their stories. And now, your host, Paul Leslie.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm good. All right. Are we ready to roll?
Sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to this man. Gene Dunlop is joining us. He is a multi-instrumentalist. He is a musician that has played a variety of instruments, from the piano, saxophone, guitar. In the past, he played the fiddle. He's played everything from drums, bass. Gene Dunlap has written songs. They've been recorded by everyone from Loretta Lynn, Mel Tillis, the great Engelbert Humpedinck. Speaking of Loretta Lynn, Gene Dunlop was the leader of her band for more than 30 years. So, Gene, thank you very much for making the time to speak with us.
Oh, man, happy to be here. Happy to talk to you.
You come from a state where many, many great musicians came from, and I'm talking about Louisiana.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think a lot of when I was raised down there, I raised hoeing, picking cotton. It was a real poor country. And a lot of people turned to music for their, I think, relief and whatever, entertainment. And so I think that's one reason we got so many good musicians come out of there.
So what kind of music did you grow up listening to? What did you hear around the house?
Hillbilly. It was all hillbilly at my house back in the 40s, 50s, Now, in the mid-40s, we'd walk down to Granny's to hear the war news. World War II was still going on. And we'd walk down there, and she had a battery radio. And we'd hear a little of war news and then the Grand Ole Opry. It would be static and fiddles and stuff, but it was wonderful.
What is it you like about hillbilly music?
I don't know. It just, I was raised with it, so I don't really know, how it first. But I think it was easy to understand. It was simple, easy, and the message and, the story and everything. Like Buzz and Buddy both are such good writers, I was lucky to get to write with them.
Now, Buzz Rabin, that is a man who has been on a number of people's lips lately. He had a song recorded on the latest Willie Nelson album. Tell us about how you first met Buzz Rabin, one of the great songwriters in country music.
Yes, I agree. He's a great writer. Well, we moved to Pineville. We had a levee break down where I was in the swamp where I was, and got our house and everything and put us in a tent. So the next year, Mama insisted, I think, and we moved to Pineville, which is a large city back then, like maybe 5,000 people. But I started going to the first grade in Pineville Grammar School, and I was from the country. Boy, I didn't know anybody there. And Buzz and his brother Jerry Ray was going, like, walking the same way every day, and they lived right, like, very, very close to me. So Buzz and I went through the first, second, and third grades together. And then I moved to Wardville, like another little outskirt of Pineville. And me and Buzz had a band when I think he was 14 and I was 16. And we had a rock and roll band. Of course, we liked to do Hank Williams. He loved Hank Williams. And so we'd do Elvis and Carl Perkins and everybody. And of course, throw Hank in there too. But that's, Buzz and I had a long history together. Love Buzz, man.
He's a really cool guy, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yeah. Yeah, he had a record, an album down here. I don't know how much it sold, but I loved it. I played it over and over. It was just such great writing, and he's a great singer, too.
Oh, absolutely. And what about Buddy Cannon? He's somebody who has gotten a lot of recognition as a record producer. He's also written some really fantastic songs. Tell me about how you met Buddy Cannon.
Well, I had a band in Kansas City from 66 to 72, and I couldn't get anything recorded, so I was trying to write. And so I decided to move here, and I joined Bob Luman in April of 72. And me and Buddy were the old guys on the band. Had Steve Smith and Joe Halterman. And so me and Buddy started rooming together. And we got talking, and both of us interested in writing. So we started writing and talking and became real good friends. And after I left Bob, I went with Loretta, and we just kept writing, kept, being around each other. Of course, we'd go downtown and drink a little bit and play a lot of music, sit in with everybody. But our buddy could tell that story about. I walk in with the saxophone around my neck. They didn't have any pianos in town. I said, I come to a piano player come to a guitar town.
Something that I've heard about you is that you're a guy who likes a lot of music, different kinds of music. Is there any truth to the idea that you have played jazz backstage at the Grand Ole Opry?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, guys sometimes get back there and start jamming, and I think Hoot was one who would do that, and a great bass player. They'd get back there and start jamming some like jazz standards, and they had a piano, so I'd join in. Spider Wilson was in there, and yeah, it was fun. Actually, we got a good write-up. We were touring with Ernest Tubb in New York, and we was Albany playing, and we played that night, and they had a great piano. So at intermission, we had 2 shows. Between shows, I got backstage, and it was real dark back there, and Ernest had Junior Pineda and Don Mills traveling with him, and they're good musicians, good, swing jazz and stuff. So we started playing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It was getting late in the year, and we just jamming on it. I noticed somebody back there, and the next day, they'd mentioned Ernest and Loretta at the top, but we got the whole write-up was about jazz between shows. It was funny.
How interesting. So, did you get to perform with Ernest Tubb?
Yeah.
Wow.
What we did is of course, Ernest and Loretta were old buddies and really good friends. And so I asked her, I said, be all right with me play with Ernest too, besides doing our show, just do his too. She, oh, yeah, that'd be fine. So I did play a lot with Ernest, and got to town later, like another year or so, and Hoot called me, his driver. Said, Ernie wants you to come to the studio. So I went down there, and he put me on one of his albums. So that was a big honor, because I always loved Ernest Tubb since I was a little kid.
When you're performing or recording with someone of that stature, Ernest Tubb, is that at all intimidating for you?
Oh, no. You just love doing it, man. And I play just, exactly what fits him, when I'm playing. Because in my mind, I know what I think fits, and that, But no, it's just a great feeling.
I'm hoping you can tell the listeners about Gene Dunlop and the Jokers.
Oh, my goodness. That was another lifetime. Yeah, I worked with Johnny Ramostella, who later became Johnny Rivers, in '56, and then left there, and I went and played the Louisiana Hayride in '57, and was with Martha Lynn there for a while, and then they made me staff guitar. James Burton left him with Bob Luman, and they had a hole in the guitar player, so I went with Fred Carter Jr. I was the other guitar player. But Fred did most of the work. But anyway, I left the Hayride because country music was kind of going down at the time, and rock and roll was really getting hot. So I thought I needed a change. So I talked to Frank Page, and he was agreeable. Oh yeah, that was fine. So I went to Houston and got me a little band called it was used to be Johnny Ramosell and the Spades. I said, well, I'd do one better, Gene Dunlap and the Jokers. So I did that, and recorded for Hit label out of Baytown, and had pretty good play out of it, and got some good play in Europe. I didn't even know about it. But anyway, it was fun doing it.
As I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, you spent a number of years touring with Loretta Lynn.
Yeah.
How did you come to meet Loretta Lynn?
I was working with Bob Luman at the time, and I heard, a friend of mine, Steve Nath, the drummer, he had a sister-in-law was a secretary for Loretta Lynn downtown. And he said, she just told me that Loretta might be needing a piano player. I said, good. So I went down there and applied, They sent me out to Dave Thornhill's house, and I went out there, and I don't remember myself, but Dave said that he asked me to play Last Day in C, and I played that, and he asked me to play Last Day in C sharp, and I played that, so he hired me. So, anyway, yeah, it was a good story.
Wow.
But I met Loretta later, and she's so nice. I mean, she's the best person in the world to work for because she does her job and don't say anything about anybody else. She's just friends with the whole bunch.
That's great to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a great person. Well, so was Bob. I love working with Bob Luman.
Was there a favorite Loretta Lynn song when you were performing?
I got a lot of them I like. But, I liked With the Tingle Becomes a Chill, one of my favorites. It's fun to play. It's a good song. And I don't know, there's several I like, but that's just to name one. That would probably be it.
Loretta Lynn, there's so many things that she's talented at. What would you say her biggest talent is?
I think her courage is probably one of her outstanding talents to me because she'll look at camera, or look at anybody right in the eye and sing her heart out. Yes, I think her courage is the best thing about her.
Did you spend a good bit of time recording with her as well?
No, we did one album with her called Loretta and the Coal Miners on the Road. And so we had that little album, and she sang some songs on it, and that was fun doing. But I didn't do any of the recording with her because Owen Bradley had all that. He already had the guys that played her stuff, and she'd already just kind of made a niche for herself when I came along.
As I mentioned, there were some songs that you wrote that Loretta Lynn recorded. Yeah.
Actually, she recorded one right after I joined her. I just brought her tape of something I'd done called Will You Be There? And she recorded The Pill, and she put it on the backside of the pill, and I got a pretty good ride off that one. So, she recorded about 7 or 8 of those, and I can't remember what they were. And Mel Tillis, I can't say enough about him, man. He took me and Buddy and really, helped us along.
How would you describe Mel Tillis when you could get to know him?
I didn't know Mel real well, but Mel was funny. He was smart. He'd real giving. He'd sit there with him. We'd joke all night down at his publishing company, and he'd stay there with us, and we'd have a few beers and stuff, and had a good time down there. But I love Mel. He's just a great guy, and he's very talented. Great writer. I couldn't believe he wrote Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town, and then recorded I Believe in You, and he said that was his favorite song to sing, and that just knocked me over, and that was good.
I was listening to that song, I Believe in You.
Uh-huh.
It is a great song.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Tell me about the inspiration.
What, for that? I don't know. I had a little idea about, something, and I called Buddy, and he came over, and so we just spent the whole day fleshing that idea out, getting lyrics and all that stuff. We started off in Buddy's notebook. We just thumb through it and see what kind of fit that. We was looking for something positive, And so he had I Believe in You, the first word. I said, that's good, So anyways, it was a lot of work to it. That we rewrote it 3 or 4 times because Glenn Campbell didn't like the life. Just life is just the way to die. Didn't like that line. So anyway, we rewrote it several times. Ended up doing the original version. Mel did it.
Would you describe yourself as a positive person?
Oh yeah, man. Always.
I could feel that you were a positive person the very first time we spoke on the phone.
Is that right? Yeah,
yeah, I just had a feeling.
Yeah, that's great, man, because I'm very positive. I don't like negative stuff.
Well, that song, I Believe in You, I also got a chance to listen to the Engelbert Humpedinck version.
Uh-huh.
And I have to wonder, how did he come to hear the song?
Well, it was number 1. Mel had it, and it was number 1 in the country charts, and it rated some of the other charts. But he heard it that way. I guess his manager probably played it for him, said, here's one, we was a little late, or we'd probably got an Elvis cut. but he passed away too quick. I think he passed a year before that was number one. But I was so happy to have Engelbert cut it. Man, he did such a great job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you hear Frank, I think, Jennings from London?
I haven't heard that one, no.
It's like a jazz version of it. It's like double time. He sings the same timing as Mel, but the music is double time. Got saxophone and piano and all kind of stuff just playing. Just very interesting.
Oh,
I liked it.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Are you of the belief that when you have a great song, it can translate to any genre?
I think that's right. I think a great song translates to anything,
It seems that somebody who proves that a lot is Willie Nelson.
Yeah. Willie's such a great writer and have such great insight on stuff,
Absolutely.
Yeah, Buddy's been writing with Willie a good bit here. Been producing him and writing with him, and so he's having a good time with Willie.
I bet.
Yeah.
Did you know Jimmy Bowen?
Yeah. Jimmy Bowen produced I Believe in You.
Oh, yeah.
He was producer on that session. Yeah, I didn't know real well, but, met him there and talked to him a little bit. And when he was doing, the lady did the background vocals, I went and watched him that day, and Moore was there, Bob Moore, and just talked to all of them a little bit. But Jimmy was in L.A. doing a thing at the theater out there, and he came out there and saw me, talked to me a little, but I didn't know him that well.
Is there anything you're working on at the moment?
I'm always working on music, just, mainly playing, like doing all kind of progressions and playing, all the time. I play every day.
Yeah, and mostly at the piano.
Yeah, mostly piano. What I do is lay a track down on the piano with my electric and record it, like electric's got a record on it. Record it, and then when I play it back, it comes through the amps, and I play my saxophone with it, so I can play with myself.
Interesting. Are you planning on releasing these recordings?
Oh, no. This is just for fun. That's for practice.
Ah, okay.
Makes good practice. Gotta make sure I agree with myself.
What do you think about the way the music business is these days?
I really don't know. I kind of got out of that circle a while back because it's just too stressful for me, And I'm an old farm boy, so I like to get out here with slow and easy. And if somebody cuts something they like, for mine, that's good. If they don't, that's good too.
What is the best thing about being Gene Dunlop?
Oh, man. I couldn't tell you the best thing. I don't know. I think of being positive and, I'm at peace with everything and everybody. And I don't know. That might be the best thing.
I always like to give the guest the stage. Just let them say whatever they want, not just limited to music. What would you say to anyone who's tuned in?
Oh, I don't know. I've always loved people, but I need a break from them every once in a while. And this place here is affording me that. And so I'm back in the circle of really enjoying people again, liking that. But, I'd like to see everyone I can, when I can.
Well, Mr. Dunlop, thank you very much for giving us this interview.
Well, thank you, Paul. I enjoyed it very much, and look forward to talking to you again.
All right, sounds good. Until next time.
All right, man.
Zapabi papa do nakajiba loop dikis on the gujia the kasagika like a pina say the bocheki ye keep on king kakadika tukon kititon keep be like a turzikan de levangara goodbye.